Greetings fellow guitar travellers and welcome to another episode of Judge Shred. I am the law. For the next few weeks in Judge Shred we're going to be looking at the art of, sweep picking. So if you absolutely hate and detest sweep picking, well, I suggest you turn this video off right now. However, if you think sweep picking is the most insanely awesome thing on the planet and you just want to learn to do it a hell of a lot better, well, continue to watch. This week's lick is a neoclassical sounding arpeggio sequence, very much in the style of Jason Becker, and you may have heard things like this on either of his Cacophony albums with Marty Friedman or on his debut solo album, which is called Perpetual Burn. If you've never heard Jason Becker's debut solo album, then I suggest you go and listen to it immediately, because if you're into any sort of shred guitar, then it's an absolute bible of shred, an absolute necessary must listen. So go and check out Perpetual Burn if you've never heard it before. Alright, so that's the sort of thing it is. Before we go ahead and show you the lick, I'd like to encourage you to head on over to my website, which is www.rowanjparker.com, and there's a whole ton of guitar stuff on that site, and most of which is free, and there's free backing tracks you can download, there's a whole ton of lessons, there's also a store where you can purchase high quality video lessons, all available for instant download at very reasonable prices, so check it out. Also, you can subscribe to my website merely by putting your email address into the subscribe box and hitting subscribe. And if you do that, you'll get access to an exclusive members only area of the website where there's even more additional material, and I'm posting new subscriber exclusive lessons every month. So it's a no-brainer really, subscribe to the site. Okay, enough talking from me, let's get straight to the lick. Jason Becker style neoclassical arpeggios. Let's rock! Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed that piece of neoclassical nonsense. Before we get into showing you the actual riff, I'm just going to discuss with you the chord sequence or chord progression that we're playing over, because I think it's important to understand, you know, the harmonic relationship. So it's in the key of E flat, and starts with E flat major, and then the next chord is a B flat 7 over a D bass. This chord could also be construed as D sharp diminished, though the backing on the keyboard is basically a B flat 7 over D. And then we've got C minor, and the next chord is another slash chord, it's a G7 over a B bass. Again, we could think about this as a B diminished chord. And the next chord after that is A flat major, it's an A flat major triad, and then it's F minor. We've got another diminished chord, F sharp diminished, and then G, and then some more triads. We've got A flat, B flat, C minor, and then the slash chord again, B flat 7 over D. Then the whole thing goes round again, and it's much the same apart from the ending. So on the repeat, E flat, B flat 7 over D, C minor, G7 over B, A flat, F minor, F sharp diminished, G, A flat, B flat, and finishes on C minor. Okay, so I hope that's clear enough, and fundamentally all we're doing is just outlining every chord with the appropriate arpeggio. So let's get into showing you exactly how to play these arps. Okay, so we know what the chord sequence is now. Before we actually show you the arpeggio sequence, I think we'll have to discuss the right hand mechanics of the sweeping to make sure that we're doing it correctly, because when I teach sweep picking to a lot of my students, they end up not sweeping correctly, but rather, you know, separating the right hand rather than sweeping. So what we'll do here is I'll show you a little exercise just on one arpeggio, and we'll discuss the mechanics of the sweeping, alright? So let's have a listen. We're going to play G major arpeggios, this one. Alright, so I will just show you the fingering first of all, if you don't know the shape. We're going to start on A10, there's A10, and then D9, and then we have G7, and then B8, and then high E7, and then high E10. And that's the ascending part. And the descending part, just the reverse of that, is high E10, 7, B8, G7, and D9, and then A10, right? So that's the basic shape. It's this shape really, what you might call C-form G major. That's how I would think of it, C-form G major. Right, so now let's discuss the picking mechanics, which is the tricky thing, right? Fundamentally what sweep picking is just allowing the plectrum to glide across all the strings, just like you would do if you were strumming. So for instance, that's a sweep picking motion, alright? And it is not this, because that's 5 separated strokes. So everyone can strum and it seems quite easy. The difficulty is that you have to separate with the left hand while keeping the right hand a continuous motion, because what tends to happen is as soon as you start to separate with the left hand, the right hand starts to separate as well, like this. You see? And you've got to avoid that. So what we want is, we want the right hand to just do a continuous motion as the left hand separates. In that case, we'll get this. Alright, so the picking mechanics is 5 downstrokes and 1 upstroke. And that's how we complete the arpeggio. Down, 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 up. Alright, so you get the idea, I think. About holding the plectrum, the way that I hold the plectrum actually, if you were to be able to come inside the screen here and take the plectrum out of my hand, you'd find that you'd be able to take the plectrum out of my right hand incredibly easily, because I'm certainly not holding it tightly. I'm trying to keep the entire right hand very relaxed, and I allow the plectrum to pivot. So as I'm doing the downstroke and upstroke part of the line, I'm allowing the plectrum to move. You probably can't see that in the video, but what's happening is, as I'm doing the downstroke towards the floor, the plectrum is angling up slightly that way. And as I'm doing the upstroke towards the ceiling, the plectrum is angling that way. And I find that just allows me to get a nice fluidity to the sweep without, you know, feeling tense in the right hand. So the worst thing you can do here is tense up, because it doesn't lend to a very smooth sort of motion if you're tensing your right hand. It should really just be this sort of very fluid sort of up and down motion, just like you would do with a strum. Alright, so to recap again, the ascending part of the arpeggio is 5 downs and 1 up, and then the descending part of the arpeggio is 1 down and 5 ups. And if we put both together, we'll get which produces a triplet sound, diddly 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 diddly, and it's that sound we're using obviously to play the line. So if you're finding this very difficult, this exercise, what you need to do is just practice this exercise and leave the rest of it until you can actually get the sweep picking motion down. But once you have this motion down, it's actually incredibly easy then to start leveraging it across all the arpeggios. So get this exercise together, and once you do this exercise, come back and we'll carry on and learn the actual line. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, so hopefully we've got this sweep picking motion down now, so let's begin to show you the actual arpeggio sequence. It starts on E flat major, all the way up here at position 15. So let me go ahead and give you the verbal tab for that. It's A18, D17, G15, B16, E15, and then high 18. And obviously when we descend, it's just the reverse of that. So that's going to be 18, 15, 16, 15, 17, 18. Alright, fingering here, digitation, 4, 3, 1, 2, 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. Very standard way of playing this arpeggio. And to recap on the picking, 5 downs and 1 up, and then 1 down and 5 ups. Alright, that's our first arpeggio. And the next arpeggio is our B flat 7 over D, or you could also think about this as being a D sharp diminished, and it's this one. Okay, slightly trickier one, this one. You'll probably find this is a little bit harder to play in the major arpeggio. So I'll give you the verbal tab for this one. It's A17, 15, A17, D15, G13, B15, high E13, and then high 16. And the digitation for this one I'm using, this is my particular favourite way of playing this arpeggio, finger 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4. Now you might hate that digitation and want to use something different. If something different works better for you, by all means use that. And of course the picking is the same again, it's going to be 5 downs and 1 up. And then 1 down and 5 ups. Yeah, fiddly arpeggio, alright? So that's our B flat 7 over D, or you can think about that as our D sharp diminished arp. And the next arpeggio after that is C minor arp. Incredibly common shape for minor. So let me give you the fingering for that. We've got A15, D13, G12, B13, then high E11, and then high 15, okay? That one. And the digitation is finger 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, alright? I'm picking just the same as all the rest. Alrighty, and then the next one is another one of these 7th arpeggios or diminished arpeggios. So it's the same shape as our B flat 7 over D. This is the G7 over B, and it's going to be this one. So let me show you that one. So we've got A14, D12, G10, B12, high 10, and then high 13. That one, okay? Right, again, watch the digitations, fiddly. For me, 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4. That's what works for me. Okay, okay. Alright, now the next arpeggio is A flat major. So that is the same shape as our E flat major arpeggio and the G major arpeggio I showed you earlier. So it's going to be A11, D10, G8, B9, high 8, and then high 11. Okay, okay, and obviously just the verse on the way back. Right, so that's your A flat major. And the next chord, F minor arpeggio. Sounds like this one. Alright, so we've got A8, D6, G5, B6, high 4, high 8. Fingering, same as the C minor, which is 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4. That one. Alrighty, and the next one, F sharp diminished arp, is this one. So again, the same fingering as our B flat 7 over D and our G7 over B. Alright, we've got A9, and then D7, G5, B7, high 5, and high 8. Fingering again, 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4. Alright, that's our F sharp diminished. Alright, getting there now. And next one is G. We've already covered the G arpeggio, but nevertheless, we've got A10, D9, beg your pardon, then G7, and then B8, and then high 7, and then high 10. Alright, and that's our G arpeggio. Alright, and then A flat again. We've already covered A flat, but nevertheless, we've got A11, D10, G8, B9, high 8, high 11. And then we've got B flat. Now at this particular part of the exercise, what happens is I only ascend up the A flat major arpeggio, then move up and then descend down the B flat arpeggio. So rather than playing up and down, it's just up. So the B flat arpeggio just descends. So B flat major arpeggio descending starts on high 13, so E10, B11, G10, D12, and then got A13. Fingering 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. I hope you're realising by now that it's actually only 3 different shapes I'm using. I'm using a major arpeggio shape, a minor arpeggio shape, and what's fundamentally a diminished arpeggio shape. So it's a great way of learning your triads, this exercise. Okay, so here's the next one. Up C minor again. Excuse me. So up to the C minor arpeggio. Alrighty. So that is going to be, let's see, that's going to be A15, D13, G12, B13, high 11, high 15. Alright, and then almost there for the end of the first half, descending down our B flat 7 over D arp. Alright, so high 16, and then 13, and B15, G13, D15, and then A17. Fingering 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4. Alright, well now that is the entire first half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the whole first half at a very slow tempo, and I'll call the chords as we go, alright? So E flat major arpeggio. C minor, G7 over B, A flat, F minor, F sharp diminished, G, A flat, B flat, C minor, B flat 7 over D. Alright, and that's the whole first half. Now on the repeat, it's pretty much exactly the same. There's just a variation at the very end. So at the very end, where I go up the A flat, down the B flat, up C minor, then rather than going down this B flat 7 over D, I just go down the next inversion up of C minor, just to resolve the line. So if I just play you the end section of the repeat, hopefully that'll make sense. Have a listen. So I'm just going to show you this descending N C minor arpeggio. So sounds like this one. And we've got high E, I guess that'll be high E20, and then high E15, and then B16, G17, D17, pinky on, A18, and then finally first finger on that A15. Again, very similar arpeggio to some of the other arpeggios I've showed you in other videos. So if you've learned those, then you'll know what this is. I'm picking for this one, same as all the rest, 1 down, and then 5 ups, and then 1 down at the very end. It just falls off the fingers very nicely. So what I'll do now is I'll play the entire second half, but super slow. Alright, so here we go. Here's the second half. E flat, B flat 7 over D, C minor, G7 over B, A flat, F minor, F sharp diminished, G, A flat, B flat, C minor, C minor. Alright, well that completes the entire thing. It's a bit of a monster, I know, but once you've got the basic shapes down, major, minor and diminished triad shapes, and you've got the sweeping together, it might not be as bad as you might think to put it all together. Once you do get it up to the full and final tempo, it sounds and looks very, very impressive. Sweep picking always does. Alright, well let's have a listen to it one more time, I think, just to appreciate how awesome it is. Let's listen, here we go. Okay, well that wraps up another episode of Judge Shred. Join me next week for more sweep picking madness. Apart from visiting the website and subscribing, of course, you can get in touch with me in various other ways. You can get me on Twitter at RowanJParker. You can get me on SoundCloud at Rowan-Parker. Let's see, you can get me on Facebook page RowanJParker. You can like if you like. And of course, I'm also on YouTube. YouTube channel is RowanJParker. Yeah, been very cool this one. Enjoyed it a lot. Quite tricky to play, but you know, it's Judge Shred. It's got to be there. Alright, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next week. Farewell.